Praise 102.5 Atlanta's Inspiration Station. Nico, hanging out with you again right here on the Great Couch. Look who I got beside me.
What up?
Man, you are a Grammy Award winning,
Little bit.
a Billboard,
Little bit.
Stellar, Dove, all of the above, and you're about to drop your new record, Chandler Moore, live in Las Vegas. On my birthday, on
your
August
birthday.
2nd.
That's the best day.
Man, please welcome Chandler Moore.
Thank you, my boy.
What's going on,
Carolina.
man? Yes, man.
Carolina in the house.
Man, I love it, man. I know this is going to be good already, man. Listen, I got to admit to you, this past weekend when I was cutting the grass, I used the time to cut
the grass.
I cut the grass,
That's
man.
a real man right there.
And listen, sometimes I want to pay somebody to do it, but it helps me clear my mind.
Heck yeah, that's
But
good.
I'm bringing that up to tell you, I listened to one song the entire time I was cutting my grass.
What?
I Have a Father.
Oh.
Literally on repeat.
I Have a Father Make Thugs Cry.
Man, let me tell you something. That song is phenomenal. We're going to get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
But let's talk about this new album, Chandler Moore, live from Las Vegas. Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
We maybe have to go to Las Vegas, too.
Man, part two.
Man, this album is special to me, because I took a break from music and touring for almost about a year. Just to get healthy, just to get my mind and spend time with my family and spend time with my wife. So coming back, I wanted to do something live, something that felt like back to my roots, which from Carolina and South Carolina, and I'm used to a lot of live music, live worship, different styles. So I went to Los Angeles and did 2 nights there and just had fun, man. It was so refreshing. I think when I got done with both the nights, I remember walking off stage, dapping my band, and we all were just feeling just the end, like, we did it. Yeah. We did. We pulled it off in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it was crazy. I mean, the music feels good. The moments feel authentic. Yeah. And it's just, I can't wait for everybody to hear it. It's just amazing.
Man, now I mentioned I Have a Father. Let's talk about that single, and let's also talk about Lead Me. These are the 2 first things that you're coming out with, man. Let's talk a little bit about that. I Have a Father. Instantly, a big DJ sent it to me originally, and he said, "Bro, this is a hit."
Dang!
Like he literally said, "This record goes." And let's talk a little bit about that. Let's dive into it a little bit. Like, what was the inspiration behind that record?
Yeah, it was. I was writing, so I wrote it with Israel Houghton.
Oh wow!
And we kind of stumbled upon it, but he was telling me a story about how one day he was fighting at school, and the people followed him home. Yeah. And once he got in his front yard, his dad walked out the house. Wow. And it was the idea that the foundation of the gospel that we believe and that I believe is God as a father. Anywhere you see God in the Bible, absolutely, a characteristic, he's operating as a father. So whether that's protector, whether that's nurturer, whether that's provider, whether that's whatever it is. And this song was so important because whether you have a great relationship with your dad or you don't even know your dad at all, it is good to know, and it's vital and so important to know that God is your father. Absolutely. And when, like, I realized in my personal life that I use a lot of names for God. I do Jireh, I have a whole song about it. I got all these names for God, but the name I use the least is Father. And I realized, like, dang, I wonder why that is. I think my dad's in my life, but we've had some rough patches, and I think it's because I've lost touch and almost don't want to trust God as Father. And so it was a real vulnerable song to sing truth over myself that, like, I have a father, and he loves me, and he sees me just the way I am. Like, I don't have to show up any other way. So it's an important truth song for me.
I love that. And I love the fact that, while you just saying that right here, I didn't realize it. But for those who didn't grow up with a father, or for those who may be going through some rough times with their father, you're reminding them that no matter what, you still have a father above those fathers.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
The Bible talks about our God is a good father, and if your humanly father is good, and you ask them for fish, they're not going to give you a rock or a stone. He said, "How much more of a good father am I?" So I think is a truth reminder to everyone listening to the song that whatever your relation or experience is with your natural father, you shouldn't place that on your heavenly Father. He's better than that. Love it. So that's the truth of that song.
I love that. Let's talk about "Lead Me" really quick.
"Lead Me On" is great. I love that song. that was the the first song, the first single, and it was important because this solo journey for me was not something I wanted, not something I.
It's normally never is, right? We try to go against what we feel like, but it's normally what we need.
Yeah. So I being in Maverick City, and starting that and building that. I felt I was okay being a collective, showing up when I need to show, but not all the shine being on me. I'm kind of cool in the background. But when I felt God calling me and pulling me, like, all right, it's time to kind of step out and take another direction, lead me on was my prayer. It was like, all right, if I'm going to do what I feel like you're calling me to do, you're going to have to hold my hand and lead me on. So it's a real authentic, vulnerable song and relational song,
Right. Now, I want to bring up something because you just performed on the BET Awards with Will Smith.
Yeah, the legend.
And first and foremost, I love when, I tell people this all the time, recently I was just asked what was one of my favorite Stellar moments, right?
Dang.
And I responded, I said, I love when we could take secular artists and bring them into the gospel community.
Absolutely.
So my answer was Destiny Child, when Michelle Williams came in.
Sweet. I remember that.
And I love the fact that you collaborated. And there's a couple other artists who are doing this more often. Let me ask you, why do you feel that is so important?
I think it's a lot of reasons, but I think the main reason is from the outside looking in, people think it's more of like a venturing off or Chandler's maybe speaking into Will's life or something like that. But I think when the social media world has made people feel like they know more than they actually do, especially with people's lives. But it's completely the opposite. I mean, it's people who have grown up in faith backgrounds who have their own journeys.
Yeah.
And when they connect with somebody like me or whoever collaborates, it's usually like, yo, I've been listening to you, and this is like a dream come true.
Yeah.
But they end up speaking to us.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what I've experienced with Will Smith. I mean, he's brilliant in music, brilliant in acting, of course, one of the greatest. But the conversations we had about faith and about God and Jesus was next level and changed my life.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, this is why I'm here. Like, everybody sees the BET stage and moment, but God put me here for this.
Yeah.
And so it was amazing collaborate with him and work with him and spend time with him. It was great. BET Awards were great this year with him, and his album is going to be crazy. He let me hear a little bit of the album. It's going to be crazy.
Love it. So that brings me to my next question, because you're still human, right?
Yes, sir.
And we're in a day of social media. Only human. Only human. We're in a day of social media, and they can be a little rough, man.
Yeah.
But you took some risk in doing those collaborations with different artists. Like, how do Chandler Moore handle some of the backlash for those artists who are going through that?
I take the approach of Jesus, man. If it's sinners that I'm hanging with, and I know I'm there to be a light. The Bible says we're supposed to be in the world. Yes. In the world. Daniel, I don't want to get into too much, but like Daniel, who we said have a spirit of excellence. We talk about Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel was in the lion's den because he was serving under a Babylonian king who goes against everything that he was taught about God. But he still served that king because he was in Babylon, but he wasn't of Babylon, and the king wanted. So I think I take the approach of Jesus, and Galatians talks about if I was living to please men, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. But I'm only living to please God, and I have to go with what God. And I don't have a phone. So I don't really see comments.
that is key.
That could be a whole.
Let me tell you what I start doing on Sundays to give myself a mental break. I start doing no social Sundays,
bro.
No social Sundays, because people don't understand that. I'm sure you get it a lot more than a lot of
it
regular
affects
people.
all of us.
But it affects all of us.
Yeah, we take in more than we're supposed. We weren't built to know every moment when somebody dies. Like that was another thing. Wow. One people are telling me, man, such and such passed. I was like, dang,
man,
this is a lot to take in. You're not supposed to know that.
I love it.
So that's how I deal with the comments. I don't really read them no more.
I love it. I love it. Listen, the album drops this coming Friday.
Yes,
August
on your birthday.
On my birthday.
It's Nico Day.
Chandler Moore live from Los Angeles.
Nico Day. That's
man, I love that. Y'all hear that? That's official right there,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Hey, and you about to go on tour, the Good News tour, right?
Good News.
Yeah, who's on the tour? Let everybody know.
Me and Mav, Tasha,
Yes.
Cobbs Leonard, Todd Galbraith.
Wow.
That's gonna be crazy.
A lot of energy.
Lot of energy. Naomi's gonna be there.
Wow.
It's a lot of us. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a good night. Y'all gotta come out. We're doing State Farm. Atlanta always show up though. Atlanta always show up.
For sure.
Atlanta always show up.
Fast,
Yeah.
So get y'all tickets early. You know what I'm saying? Chandler Moore caught the album, drops on my birthday, August 2nd. Chandler Moore live from Los Angeles. Go grab it, y'all.
Thank you, man.
It's praise.